You know, guys, talking about this G20 thing, now that it has been heavily advertised, there's something that I cannot get over, man. I tried my level best, but I just cannot get over what was said back in March by the mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Mrero. We know that the administration of President Cupcake will host the G20 event. And Dada Mrero did a press briefing speaking about the G20. And on this press briefing, Dada Mrero decided to offend South Africans by telling us that in Johannesburg, they're going to have what is called the G20 routes. And these G20 routes are the roads that will be used by the city to move around their international friends. And then Dada Mrero told us again that they are going to prioritize these roads. They are going to make sure that these roads do not have potholes. They're going to make sure that these roads are clean. They're going to make sure that these roads have traffic lights that actually works. And as a South African, you would understand why people would be infuriated by these remarks coming from the mayor, because people are looking at their everyday lives. They are looking at the roads that they are using to travel every day. They see the potholes that are damaging people's cars. They see these potholes that are causing accidents and claiming people's lives every day. They look at these traffic lights that are making it very hard for them to move around. And then the administration of President Cupcake is going to come out to tell them that our international friends are coming, but unfortunately, they are not going to have the same experience as you. And now they do not understand why people are not particularly paying any real attention to this. I mean, you can see them even on social media. They are trying to advertise the G20 and they are trying to get people engaged with this thing. But I think that the South Africans actually have a lot of challenges that they are facing. The people in this country, their lives are getting worse every day. And you would understand why people would actually not particularly pay attention to something that is so important to Ramaphosa, because Ramaphosa, as the president of the country, it's almost as if this guy does not even live in this country. Everything shocks him. He's shocked by everything. But somehow, this is one thing that Ramaphosa cares about. This G20, it is one thing. I've never seen Ramaphosa so focused on anything before. I have never seen him so focused on anything before. The president did the walks by himself in the cities. He went to Johannesburg to make sure, to see by himself that these people are cleaning and making sure that when my friends come here, they're going to see the best of this country. I'm not going to let these people see these potholes and these traffic lights that are not working and the people standing on the sides, some with the bricks ready to break their windows. I'm not going to allow my friends to actually experience that. This is one thing that Ramaphosa actually cares about, his image to his international friends. And that is the only thing. I have never seen Ramaphosa passionate about anything before. Honestly, this G20, this is, I don't know, man. I have never seen him so passionate about anything before.
Indeed, we are doing our level best. We've prioritized certain routes within Johannesburg, which are G20 routes, to ensure that at least we can make them to be at the standard at which they should be. No potholes, no crisis or traffic signals that are not working. So we are focusing on that. But we are generally focusing on the infrastructure.
I mean, is this the standard for the G20, or this should be the standard for average South Africans? And this is very easy. Why are these people not prioritizing all the roads in this country as G20 routes so that they can make sure that these roads are on that standard, they don't have potholes, they are clean, and the traffic lights are working? Why don't you just prioritize all the roads in this country? Because what you are talking about, this is not an experience that many South Africans actually have. Prioritize the whole country, man. Prioritize the whole country as a G20 event and fix the whole country on that slogan. I'm sure, man, this is something that we should have told Ramaphosa a long time ago, that South Africa is a project of the G20. If Ramaphosa had actually looked at this country as a project of the G20, Ramaphosa would have actually pushed his best effort into making sure that everything works, making sure that it is clean, there is no crime, making sure that everything works. We should have told Ramaphosa 7 years ago. We should have told him 7 years ago that this country is a G20 route and you need to prioritize it. Tell your people that are working under you. Tell your premiers, tell your premiers to tell their mayors that this is a G20 country. Make sure that everything works. Ramaphosa like went as far as somehow, I would say, pressurizing Panyaza Lesufi into making sure that things are moving in Johannesburg. And as for Dada Morero, I mean, Dada Morero is under a lot of pressure to make sure that this is clean. These people are not going to see what South Africans are actually used to. No. This is a job. This is a job that is very hard on Dada Morero. Man, the poor guy, man, I'm sure every time when his phone rings, he just hopes that it is not Ramaphosa. When his phone rings, it's like, oh my goodness, man, I hope it is not Ramaphosa. And if it is Ramaphosa, man, he's already crying inside because he knows gonna be Dada. What have you done? How many streets have you cleaned? It is ridiculous, man. It is absolutely ridiculous.
I've been reminded of what Ntate Lucas Mangobe would have said when he said, "Basatlo sotla bana ke batho ba." When he says these people will make you suffer, well, loosely translated. Here's the thing. Panyaza goes and gives an update about the readiness to host the G20. Proudly goes and boasts about how there will not be, during the G20, there will not be water outages, there will not be electricity outages. And nobody seeks to then ask what is happening then before the G20 and what will happen after the G20. So the ANC only cares about, cosmetics. They only cares about really looking good to the rest of the world.
Of course. Of course.
But not caring enough about what the people of Gauteng and the people of South Africa are actually then supposed to be experiencing from a government that cares. So here is a classic example of somebody who cares about the cosmetics. There is millions of people in Gauteng that are experiencing hardships. People are going through now diseases because of, the challenges of water. There are people that have lost jobs because of the inability of government to then guarantee and sustain the supply of water and the supply of electricity. And here you have now a premier admitting that they will not be able, or they will be able to then sustain the supply of electricity and the supply of water. The question is, if that is the case, then why haven't they been able to then do that all along? Why is it now that on the highways, on the N1, you have police?
I mean, I would say it's because of the blind loyalty that majority of the electorates have on them. They don't feel the need to work for the people. They don't even feel that they need to earn their votes from these people. They know that they are going to vote for them, regardless. It doesn't matter. I think this is the reason why. They don't care about working, doing actually real work, being in that office. No, they don't care about that because they know what's the point. Why would you continue working for somebody that has blind loyalty towards you? Just to exploit that person. This is what the ANC is doing. They're asking themselves, like, why should we work for South Africans when South Africans every election season come out in their millions to vote for us? We fail these people every day. There are no jobs in this country. There's crime everywhere in this country. The infrastructure is crumbling in this country. Corruption is off the roofs in this country. And these people somehow, they continue to vote for us. So why should they do any work? Now that something they actually care about is happening, you see them moving. The fact that they are moving like this, the fact that this is not a norm, it is an indictment on them. The fact that these people have to patch some potholes and send some guys to fix some traffic lights somewhere there, and send other people to go out and cut grass. It is an indictment on them, and it shows you that they are aware of everything that they are doing. It is not that they are not aware; they are fully aware of everything that they are doing. And if in this country we actually had serious people, South Africans would actually see this as these people telling them that we need to go out. Unfortunately, some people will still go out and vote for these people so that they can continue occupying those offices doing absolutely nothing. The people, man, the people in this country, man, are a problem, man. South Africans are the ones that are dragging this country back, man. They are dragging this country back.
Along. Why is it now that on the highways, on the N1, you have police that are all over? And this is what they've done. They've now pulled police from other areas as well, even some of them coming outside of Gauteng to be pulled into Gauteng to then come and assist. So it means that they know that there is a shortage and there's a challenge of personnel in the South African police service. And they're now pulling people from all over to then come and make it look like it's safe in South Africa and Gauteng more specifically, to make it look like there are things that are happening. These they should have been addressing all along if it's indeed about saving the people of Gauteng and the people of South Africa. We should be ensuring that there are more people that are there. They are now having people fixing, potholes, while people have been sitting with potholes for a very, very long time. They are now ensuring that the people of Soweto have water, while the people of Soweto have been to nuclear. The people of nuclear have been sitting without water for months. And now all of a sudden there's water that is flowing. And I can guarantee you that immediately after that,
And guys, I feel like as South Africans, we are not outraged enough about this, man. I honestly feel so, man. I feel like we are not outraged enough by the utterances of these people and the actions of these people.
now you're going to have a challenge again of water that is now not going to be available anymore. So here's the question. So if Panyaza can boldly come out and say that during the G20, you will not have any kind of interruption of services, whether it's electricity, whether it's water, and the potholes are going to be fixed, and you're going to have street lights that are working, you're going to have traffic lights that are working, and you're going to have a clean CBD around Johannesburg more specifically. The question is, why haven't they been able to then do it throughout? And what is then the plan to sustain it even beyond?
There's no plan.
Do it throughout. And what is then the plan to sustain it even beyond? Are they going to be able to then sustain it? I can tell you right now, free of charge, they're not going to be able to then sustain it, because the plan isn't actually then a long-term plan, but the plan is to look good in front of all the people, that the dignitaries that will be coming here. I promise you, these guys have got no plan to make sure that the people's lives are bettered here in South Africa. The people's lives don't matter as much. As long as they're able to then steal, as long as they're able to then enrich themselves, as long as they're able to then protect each other, that's all that they care about. As long as they can look good on the international stage while the locals are suffering, that's all they care about. And this is something that the people of Gauteng, the people of South Africa, must see for what it is. I'm happy to then engage with the media on this, and able to then, engage and debate with any of, the Panyaza Lesufi or anybody that he decides to then delegate, to then come and talk about the plans beyond the G20 and whether this is something that they will be able to then sustain. I can tell you right now, and I'm able to then challenge anybody, how they'll be able to then sustain it is not going to be possible. But let's see how they go and about responding to this.
They won't respond, man. They won't respond. Maybe they see you as somebody that is just trying to waste their time. These people have their work cut out for them. They have to make Johannesburg look as good as possible so that their friends can say, "Ooh, what a nice work you are doing in this beautiful city. Look how clean it is. Oh my goodness, it is so nice." Sipping coffee there and the strawberry biscuits, having good time. Like, look at the police visibility. Oh, the police is everywhere. Look at these traffic lights, man. Oh, in South Africa, the traffic lights are working. This is what Ramaphosa actually wants his people to say. That in South Africa, the traffic lights are working. It is absolute madness, man. It is absolute madness, and I think this is a scandal, man. I think this is a scandal. Every time I think about this, man, I get infuriated. I get infuriated. And guys, there's an update still talking about the G20. There's a statement that has actually came from the Gauteng provincial government. They are talking about some, allegedly there have been infrastructure that has been vandalized. The so-called G20 infrastructure that has been vandalized there in Gauteng. And apparently, man, these people are not happy at all. So this statement says that the Gauteng provincial government condemns the vandalism of G20 Signage and the revamped infrastructure across the city of Johannesburg. You can see that this statement came on the 9th of November 2025. It says that the Gauteng provincial government denounces and deeply condemns maliciously and seemingly coordinated acts of vandalism targeting recently revamped public infrastructure around the city of Johannesburg on the eve of the G20's Leaders Summit. These mischievous and cowardly acts of vandalism, which include the destruction of newly installed G20 summit signage near Nasrec by reported armed assailants and the damage to streetlights and traffic signals along the R55 route, represents a direct assault on our nation and its standing in the world. So now suddenly these people are outraged by these street lights and these traffic signals that have been vandalized in Johannesburg. When was the last time you saw these people being so outraged about this thing happening? Because it's not like it is only happening right now. It has been happening. It has been happening. But now they're gonna pretend like no, they like it is only happening right now, and we are so outraged as the government about why this thing is happening. The people, they can tell you that the robots, man, they are being stolen in broad daylight. These signals, the stops and what, they are being taken in broad daylight, and nothing has been done about it. But these people have actually committed a huge sin by touching the infrastructure of the G20. I told you guys, this is the only thing that Ramaphosa cares about. This is the only thing that the administration of our daily cupcake actually cares about. You can touch everything in this country, but do not touch that traffic light of the G20. That is a G20 traffic light. If you touch a G20 traffic light, we're gonna release a statement. We don't care about all of these traffic lights that have been vandalized in our city. We don't care about all of these traffic lights that have been vandalized in this country. The only traffic lights that we care about are the G20 traffic lights. So I think the South Africans, with their markers, they must just go to their nearest traffic lights and just write G20. It will be fixed. It will be fixed. This is not a petty crime, but a deliberate and malicious campaign of sabotage designed to undermine and tarnish the image of our province and country as we prepare to welcome global leaders. These inexcusable and vindictive actions are aligned and designed to consolidate the work of smear merchants who are promoting outlandish conspiracy theories and a certain negative narrative about the country. The provincial government views this criminality in a serious light and it will respond accordingly. Just listen to this, guys. The provincial government views this criminality in a serious light and they will respond accordingly. We remind the perpetrators that this deliberate destruction of essential infrastructure is a severe criminal offense under the Criminal Matters Amendment Act of 2015, which specifically protects such assets, and the perpetrators face prospects of imprisonment up to 30 years. Additionally, anybody discovered in possession of stolen infrastructure material will be assumed guilty and have to prove their innocence due to reverse owner's clause. The full and unrelenting might of the law will be brought to bear all of those who be found responsible. Quote, we are aware that some roguish elements are mobilizing to cause chaos, and we are working in full cooperation with the national security structures. We have directed our law enforcement agencies to conduct a thorough investigation. We will identify, apprehend, and fully prosecute the perpetrators of this sabotage to the fullest extent of the law. This is what was said by Panyaza Lesufi. Panyaza Lesufi, you can hear that he's not happy at all because now he still has to go back and fix these things that these peasants are causing there in Gauteng. The Gauteng province is ready, capable, and proud to host this landmark event, and we remain steadfast in our commitment to ensuring a safe, secure, and successful G20 Leader Summit that showcases the best of South Africa. We will not allow the desperate actions of a few to jeopardize this critical national opportunity. Our message is clear. There will be zero tolerance for any disruption or sabotaging of the G20 summit, and any attempts will be met with a swift, decisive response. Guys, are these people actually aware how insane this sounds? They are promising to move swift and respond decisive. Only for these people. Only for these people. Why is this not an attitude that these people are deploying everywhere else? That's why I'm saying that every time when these people speak, every time when they release such a statement, I don't think that they actually are aware of how offensive it sounds. They are not aware of how offensive it sounds. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabasa. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This is madness, man.